Shalom, shalom, Juice Gang family. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about why are the fertility rates so low? Why is it so hard for so many women to get pregnant? Now we know that there is nothing new under the sun. You know, women were having issues with getting pregnant throughout centuries. But as of 2023, the statistics show that the numbers have took a major drop like never before. Now, I am going to keep this topic based off of what I can talk about. So YouTube is very, very tight about things that they only want to allow on their platform for what you can talk about. So that is what I'm going to stick to today. And I do have my notes here because I do want to stay on topic and I don't want to drift off into anything else that I do really want to talk about, but I'm just going to keep this topic based on what I can talk about. Now, I know all about infertility because me and my husband, we were trying to get pregnant when we first got married. We were 25 and it was really, really hard. I was having irregular cycles, and that's when I found out that I had PCOS because I had the doctors run tests. I was also dealing with cysts bursting, and when the cyst would burst, it would feel like someone was stabbing me with a knife in my stomach. And I also found out that I only had one tube that was clear and that was working. So I'm dealing with one tube and PCOS. And I ended up taking my health into my own hands, and my life ended up changing 5 years later. The hard work that I put in ended up paying off. We ended up pregnant with our first son. And as of 2023, I have a 6-year-old, I have a 5-year-old, and I have a 1-year-old. All boys, and I love all of them dearly. But all the credit goes to Yahuwah and Yahusha, which is the Father and the Son, because I am Hebrew. So in your terms, God has blessed me and has opened my womb to allow for me to have children, and I'm so thankful. So I am going to start off with my notes and get into number one, to what is the reason why people are having so many issues. And I'm not a doctor. I am basing this off of what the statistics are saying, and what I've personally dealt with throughout my journey. So number one is going to be poor nutrition and processed foods. We live in a society where everybody wants everything so fast. No one wants to cook a home-cooked meal. No one wants to eat fresh fruits and vegetables. This is why you see the lines lined up like crazy at McDonald's, at Burger King, at Wendy's. People need their Wawa juices and snacks and their breakfast sandwiches, and they want to hit the corner stores up and get their breakfast sandwiches and cheesesteaks and french fries and chicken nuggets, chicken tenders. Back in the day, our grandparents, they were cooking home-cooked meals. When I was a child, I was waking up to eggs, grits, or fish and grits, or homemade pancakes with bacon and sausage. Now people are just running out and getting their fast food breakfast sandwiches from Dunkin' Donuts. All of this is processed foods. We don't know exactly what's in that food because, for one, we didn't buy it and it's processed. And it has a lot of chemicals in it. And this is the issue. It's the chemicals that are in those foods that are having a major effect on our bodies when we eat them. And when we eat those processed foods, it puts stress on the body because the body doesn't recognize those foods. It's like a foreign invader. This is why when so many people eat processed foods, they don't feel satisfied. They don't feel full. And within a few hours, they want to eat something else. And that's another issue, the constant eating, the constantly having insulin spikes. Ladies, if you have PCOS, you want to be making sure that you're eating healthy fats, healthy proteins, vegetables, and healthy carbs that come from fruits. So that way you are satisfied. And that is what I've learned throughout my life and throughout my journey, because I have tried so many different type of diets, but now I just keep things simple. I make sure that I incorporate healthy fats, healthy proteins, fiber, and the fiber comes from the vegetables and the fruits, and I consume all of that within one meal. Instead of me having like some crazy type of dessert with like, you know, pies or something like that. I use fruit as a dessert and it works for me. So this is the issue that is happening. We really live in a microwave society where people are just taking all these box TV dinners, they're warming them up in a microwave thinking that this is food. And even it's so sad when we look at what we're feeding our children, all this processed chicken nuggets from the grocery store. Why not just feed your kids real chicken if they want chicken? It's time to put our aprons back on, ladies, and get into the kitchen and cook for our babies, let alone cook for ourselves. So if you're having issues with infertility, now is the time to really get back into the kitchen and take care of yourself and eat healthy foods, healthy vegetables. There's so many things you can eat, you know, for breakfast instead of the fake processed cereal. Because guess what? In your cookies, your cakes, your pies, your snacks, they're putting bioengineered ingredients in there. Yes, if you didn't know, how about this? Pause the video, go to the cabinet, pull out your cereal that you have for yourself, pull out your cakes, your pies, your cookies, your chips, and they're even putting it in mayonnaise. Those favorite donuts that you love to eat when you're sipping your tea, those cookies that you like to snack on when you're watching your movie on a late night, they have bioengineered ingredients in it. Now, some states, they are labeling it as warning. This may cause cancer. It contains bioengineered ingredients. Some states are just saying bioengineered ingredients. And then there are some states, they don't have to label it. They don't have to put it on there. But the information is out. So many people who are talking about it, those who are in the health community, and they're very strict on what they eat. It's all in there. It's in your box TV dinners. It's in those prepackaged box dinners and those prepackaged waffles and pancakes that are in the frozen section in the grocery store. All the chips, cakes, cookies, pies, cereal, all of it have it in there. So if you are one of those type of people who have an issue with wanting to be healthy, if this doesn't push you to be healthy, then I don't know what will. But you have to take your health into your own hands. And in my home, I have learned that now with all this nonsense going on, I have to make homemade cookies and cakes and pies for my kids from scratch now. And if I do decide to buy, you know, those things from the store, you know, I really have to kick out a lot of money now for the top quality organic, you know, snacks that don't have it in there. And you're going to pay some money for those things. So it's time to put the junk away because, again, you really don't know what is going to do to your body in the long run. And the average person, they may go to McDonald's, they get their breakfast, they go to Dunkin' Donuts, get their breakfast. For lunch, they're eating pizza. And then for dinner, they may say, you know what, I'm going to go get me some Chinese food, or I'm going to get some Chick-fil-A. No one is cooking homemade meals anymore. And this is the problem. So that's tip number one. You want to take your health back into your own hands. Cut out the processed foods. And I got to beat this drum so hard because this is a powerful tip. Your health is your wealth. And if you're not eating properly, you're going to have major problems that's going to affect you. You don't want to end up with diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer. This stuff is serious. A lot of the ingredients that they put in our food is banned in other countries. It's banned. So you want to really stick to whole foods, real foods, asparagus, salad. You know, you can make beautiful salads, spaghetti squash. If you want to do bread, do Ezekiel bread. That's the bread that I use, and it doesn't have any of those harmful chemicals in there. So you just have to learn how to shop. That's all it is. So let's get into tip number 2, and that is your age, ladies. So the quantity and quality of your eggs begin to decline with your age. So now I am 36 years old. So my egg quality has declined. It is not how it was when I was 25, when I was that young spring chicken running around. So when you're younger, it's going to be much easier for you to get pregnant. So I know a lot of women, they want to have their careers. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. But ladies, if you want to have children, you really need to open up your eyes and listen to what I'm going to say. The older you get, it's going to be harder and your eggs are going to decline. That's just what it is. So a lot of women who put having children on hold and put their career first now are suffering. They're hurting. They are stressed out. The marriage is they're going through a lot within their marriage as far as trying to get pregnant, because they're having issues with infertility, because the egg quality has decreased. On top of the fact, a lot of women go on birth control. They go on birth control and they focus on their careers, not even realizing the damaging, harmful effects of birth control. I'm going to go into a whole nother video on birth control, because that's a video that needs to be done within itself. It's a video that I've been wanting to make for a very, very long time. The harmful effects of birth control is serious. I personally know women who were on birth control for years, ended up married, came off the birth control, and their whole hormones just went crazy. And it was just so hard for them to get pregnant. And then some of them, you hear the horrible stories. They never end up getting pregnant. This is why, if you're a believer in God, it is so important that you just keep your legs closed and wait until you get married to have children. And I know people don't want to hear this, but I'm keeping it real with y'all. No one shouldn't be having sex until they get married. Because if that man loves you, he's going to put a ring on your finger. And that's just what it is. On top of the fact, statistics show that when you have sex with multiple partners, you take on the DNA of those men, ladies. And it's a soul tie. When you have sex with someone and you're a virgin, and that man enters inside of your womb, and then the blood is shed, right? Because you were a virgin. It is a blood covenant between you and that person and God and Yahuwah, because I am Hebrew, Yahuwah. So you want to take this very serious. You don't want to have all these soul ties and blood and covenants with all these different men that you're sleeping around with, because it's going to mentally affect you. I personally know women who one minute they're happy and then the next minute they don't know if they're coming or going, because of the mental state that they're in, because of those blood. Well, once you break the blood and the bloodshed, it's only with that one person, but because they've had multiple sex partners, it messes with your brain. It really does. So the information is out there. I will do a video on that one as well, because that's a good topic. But ladies, you want to be careful with the birth control. I would seriously go on a fast and pray and ask Yahuwah, God, to lead you in the right direction as far as what path to take. Again, there's nothing wrong with having a career, but this is for women. This message is for women who want to have children. Be very careful with the birth control. So, number 3. A lot of women are dealing with endometriosis, fibroids, PCOS, which is what I have. You may not be ovulating. You may be getting your period, but you just may not be ovulating. That's another thing that you want to have the doctors check for. You may have damage to your fallopian tubes. Again, I only have one tube that is clear. And again, these are a lot of the things that women are dealing with, or they're having issues with cervical mucus issues. So again, taking care of your body, eating healthy, lowering your stress, all of these things play a role. And PCOS, I mean, it is caused by processed foods. Endometriosis, having fibroids and things like this, it all boils back to what you eat. That's why I said I got to beat that drum with that being the number one tip, because you want to make sure that you are eating healthy. I mean, this is the summertime now. This is the time to really enjoy your watermelon, your cantaloupe, all the fruits that are in season. Eat local to your area. I'm in Jersey. I get Jersey cantaloupe, and right now Concord grapes are coming in season. So I just brought some of them, and I get the ones that are local to this area. I mean, absolutely amazing, guys. They taste so sweet. It tastes so good. You can really taste the difference in the fruit, because, you know, it's not being shipped so far away. You know, it was grown here, and it tastes amazing. So you really want to focus on healing your body and really making sure that you're healthy to have a baby. And back to the egg quality thing, I did a video on how to strengthen your eggs. That's already on the channel, so you can go and check that out. I already did a video on that, so that way if you are up in age and you're trying to get pregnant and your egg quality is not as strong and it's low, then you can go ahead and check that video out. So number 4, recreational drugs. And I know this is going to touch a nerve with a lot of people, but smoking weed is damaging your body. The government was smart by legalizing it. Now you can go and get your weed card and you can go smoke weed. Keep in mind, the weed that you're smoking today is not the weed that our parents were smoking and our grandparents were smoking. The weed you see today, it looks crazy, it looks exotic, like something that they technically grew in a lab, synthetic weed. This weed doesn't even have seeds. Back in the day, because, I mean, listen, y'all, I used to smoke weed, I used to smoke cigarettes and drink and party and club, and I'm so thankful that God has delivered me from all of that stuff. But if you want to stop smoking weed and you mean it from the bottom of your heart, God will deliver you from it. Because this is the issue with men. They're smoking this exotic weed that is grown, and they also spray it with all type of chemicals. They're spraying that weed. That's not good. And it's causing men to have low sperm count. And it's also causing women to have infertility issues. This is serious. Especially ladies, if you're trying to get pregnant, you shouldn't be smoking anyway. So smoking weed is not good. It's really not. And the weed, the names that I hear people saying today, what the weed is called, is just crazy. You know, back in the day, you would hear skunk. That's an old school name. Another one was Afghanistan. This is when it all started to get crazy during my time when I was in my 20s. And then there was one called White Widow, where it had like white crystals on it. I mean, I actually thought they were putting coke on the weed, and I'm just being real with y'all because it just looked crazy. So again, if you're smoking weed, you really want to stop and come from away from it, because it's just not good. I know so many people, they're addicted to their weed. You're not going to take their weed from them. And that's cool, that's fine. This video isn't for you. But for those of you all who are serious, you want to get healthy, and you want to be delivered, God can help you. And if he did it for me, he can most definitely do it for you, because there is power in prayer. Gotta have faith, and you gotta believe that you can be delivered from it. It was a process for me, but the Lord done it for me. And I'm just so thankful. And I'm so glad that I'm in a healthy state with my body and my life. Ecstasy, popping pills, you got to come away from this stuff. People are smoking WAP, which they call embalming fluid. They're smoking this nonsense, damaging their body. It is so much that the young generation are doing, and it's really sad. Then you have heroin, you have cocaine, and then alcohol. Now, I know a lot of you are like, girl, you trying to take my alcohol away? No, I am not. It is okay for you to have wine with your meal, or you're out with your hubby or family and friends and you're having wine and you're enjoying yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're constantly drinking hard liquor, clubbing and partying, destroying your temple every single day, that is wrong. That is damaging your body. That's something that you just don't want to do. And if you're a believer in God, God doesn't want you to do that. He doesn't want you to be drunk all the time. Again, there's nothing wrong with enjoying yourself and having a nice time. But when you're doing things out of order, you are naturally, again, destroying your body. You're destroying your temple. So you don't want to overdo it, because statistics show if someone has taken over a long period of time recreational drugs, it can cause permanent problems. Permanent problems. And this is the weed. This is the ecstasy. Drinking hard liquor can destroy your liver. These are things that we know. We know this. And it can permanently cause problems with the reproductive system, and check this out, infertility. Infertility. So this generation that we're dealing with today, they're partying, they're drinking, they don't have a care in the world. Right now with summer, everybody's talking about, oh, this is my hot girl summer, my hot boy summer. People are just sleeping around with all kinds of people. Diseases going on. People don't care. They just spreading their legs, spreading diseases. It's really bad out here. This generation is wild. They are off the chain. I've never seen nothing like it before. They just don't have a care in the world. But if you're one of those young folks that are watching this video and you care about yourself, keep your legs closed. Don't destroy your temple with drugs. Take care of yourself, especially if you plan on having children later on in your life. You want to be very, very careful with your temple, what you feed it and what you put into your body. Because once the damage is done and those permanent effects come into play, it's going to be hard to heal from it. And again, sometimes you can't heal from it because it's permanent damage. Because it's damage that you have done throughout your body for years and years and years. And your body finally said, you know what? That's it. I'm done. Now your liver is just destroyed. You have liver damage. And you don't want to destroy your liver. So, number 5, lack of exercise. A lot of people just don't want to work out. They're lazy. And then we're going to go into something where you have people who are overweight because they don't want to work out. But what about the people who are naturally skinny? They can eat whatever they want. They don't have a care in the world. They ain't working out because they're naturally skinny, but they're sick. So you do have people who are like that. So you want to make sure, especially if you're overweight, you want to work out. But if you're naturally skinny, you want to make sure that you're working out. You want to make sure that you're having good circulation, having that blood flow. And that's another thing for men. You want to make sure that you're working out, having that blood flow. You know what I mean, ladies? The blood flow, so that it's strong in that department. So that way when you do connect to have a baby, everybody's body parts are working strong and that they're healthy together. So for the men, you want to make sure that you're eating healthy and taking care of yourself, so that way you don't have a low sperm count, because it's not just the women. Men are having low sperm counts as well. This is what statistics are showing. So women are dealing with the endometriosis, the fibroids, the PCOS, and men are having low sperm count because they're eating the processed foods, they're not working out, they're not taking care of themselves. And you want to be sweating. Working out is good. You want to sweat. You want to sweat out those toxins. Even if it's just going for a walk. You don't have to go to the gym and work out or have some expensive equipment. You can work out in your house. There's no excuses. They have so many workout programs on the internet that you can look at and work out for 1 to 2 hours a day. Even if it's 30 minutes, 20 minutes, you want to get a good sweat in to sweat out those toxins. Think about it. If you're eating unhealthy foods, there are a lot of toxic chemicals that are in your body. There's chemicals in our drinking water, chemtrails all in the sky that's being sprayed, and the list goes on. So you want to make sure that in this day and age, in 2023, everybody should be working out at least for 20 to 30 minutes a day to sweat out those toxins, especially if you want to live a long and healthy life. So those are the 5 things that I wanted to talk about today, why people are having issues with getting pregnant and why the fertility rates are so low. I could have added more to the list, but I don't want this video to be too long. If you have stayed this far in the video, thank you so much. If you like these type of topics, please hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to be sharing more videos like this. And ladies, if you're having infertility issues, don't give up. You're going to have to pray. You're going to have to fast. You're going to have to work hard and change your diet. Remember, faith without works is dead. You have to put the work in to go along with your faith, and God will handle the rest. He will heal your body. If it's something that you sincerely really want and you want to have a baby, because I know all about it, He will heal you. Because if He did it for me, He can do it for you. So that's it for this video, and I will see you all in the next one. I love you all. Shalom.